All right, sweet. Flatline MMA podcast episode number 19. Wow, 19 episodes down. The boys are flying. We got a great episode for you today. As you guys already know, the show is sponsored to you by CBD Medic. If you haven't already, click the link below for 10% off on all your CBD needs. Gronk uses it. We use it. You should all use it. Let's get it. Listen, today's episode, I know we've had a week off from the UFC, so we're coming back with an absolute banger of a card. We got UFC 247 featuring two title fights. In the co-main, we got the women's flyweight title, and in the main event, we have the UFC light heavyweight title on the line. So two title fights. This one's going to be a fun one. We're just going to recap a little bit of the main card, kind of go into some predictions, and then we'll go from there. So let's just start it right off. So UFC 247 at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. Always fun when they go to Texas. Every card that's ever been there, I feel like, has just been an absolute banger in Texas. So excited about this one. Kicking off the main card, we got a nice heavyweight fight. We have one of the most entertaining guys on the roster. We got Derek Lewis. Derek, my balls are sweaty. My balls are hot. Lewis taking on Ir Latifi, who I think this is his heavyweight debut. I know he's been on a little bit of a skid in light heavyweight. I think this is his first fight at heavyweight. So this one's going to be interesting. Obviously, you've got Derek Lewis, who, he fought for the title. It was pretty recent. You know what I mean? So Derek Lewis was the guy. He was on a tear. He was doing his thing. He was getting on the mic. He earned his title shot, man, not only from being in the octagon, but the things he was doing outside. He used his mic time correctly. He was saying funny ass stuff. So overall, always watching a Derek Lewis fight is entertaining, right? And he can put the lights out of anyone any second. He's coming off of his, I would say maybe it's a controversial win, going back to UFC 244, taking on Blagoy Ivanov, whatever the hell his name is. But I know it was kind of a controversial decision. I know he wasn't too happy about it, but came out with the win, and now he's taking on the newcomer Ir Latifi. So, Kev, what do you think about this one? Just obviously heavyweight scrap. Me and you love those. Lights can go out anytime. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, is this really Latifi's first fight at heavyweight?
Yeah, so his last two fights against Corey Anderson and Volkan Ozdemir. So, yeah, this is his first fight at heavyweight.
Wow. Yeah, this is a really tough one to be taking, moving up in weight. Derek Lewis hits so hard that, he's got some crazy knockout power. So yeah. I think that's going to be the difference in this fight. It's just the size and the power advantage that Derek Lewis is going to have. But, Latifi's good. He's durable, but he can be knocked out. He got knocked out in his last fight. So, yeah, I think I'm going to give it to Lewis for this one.
Yeah, that's the only thing that concerns me. I mean, if you look at Latifi, he's an absolute brick shithouse. The man is, built, right? At heavyweight, I think he's going to look good. He's going to be able to pack on some weight, right? He's going to look good. But what concerns me is, like you said, he just got KO'd in his last fight by a light heavyweight. That concerns me, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. A guy like Derek Lewis, who can put your lights out at any moment of the fight, whether he's losing all 24 minutes of the fight, that last minute he can put your lights out. We've seen it before, you know what I mean? Whether it's in a 25-round fight, whether it's in a 15-minute fight, it doesn't matter. Derek Lewis, whether he gasses out or not, it's a heavyweight fight. I think any heavyweight in the world can do that. So that's definitely scary to see. So I got Lewis in this one too. We all love Lewis, man. He's so funny. He's got the knockout power. He gets on the mic. He does his thing. So I'm predicting an early knockout. I just don't see Latifi as durable as he is. He's never been hit by a guy like Derek Lewis before. So I'm going to go with Lewis on this one. I'm going to go early. I'm going to say within 2 rounds. I really believe that.
Yeah, he did a lot working against him too. Just like he's not going to be coming in at 260 like Derek Lewis is. No. He's a heavyweight. Mm. He's got a huge reach advantage, almost 6 inches. On him. So he's gonna have to eat some punches to get inside on him, and I don't know. It only takes one with Derek Lewis. So
yeah, definitely for your first heavyweight fight, probably not the person that you wanna start off in the division with someone who's fought everyone, someone who's taken on the best, has fought for the belt. But at the same time, we all know that Derek Lewis gasses out, so anything could happen, man. If he's durable, we'll see if he can outlast, those first, couple rounds. But like we said, Derek Lewis is dangerous, whether it's round 1, whether it's round 5. He's got the power to knock you out whenever. So that's going to be a fun one. That's starting off the main card, so that's huge. Next up, we got a fun featherweight scrap between Mirsad Bektic and Dan Ige. Both of these guys, super electric. I think a lot of people are expecting this one to be, the fight of the night here. If you take a look at Bektic, he's just coming off that loss of Josh Emmett, but he was on a little bit of a tear in the featherweight division for a while. I know he kind of had that run with Darren Elkins, but then he went on a 2-fight run. Unfortunately, he faced Josh Emmett, and Josh Emmett can put your lights out with any punch as well. But he's taking on Dan Ige, who he's on a tear right now. He's on about 4-fight win streak. He's a fun guy to watch, man. I remember watching him back in like UFC 220 when he lost his last loss with Julio Arce. And ever since that, man, I've been impressed with him. So he's been on a little bit of tear. He's got a couple, he's got a knockout in there. He's got a submission. So he's good everywhere, and that's what makes this dangerous. And I know with these two, just two durable featherweights, fast. Both these guys shredded as hell. Both got knockout power. Both good on the ground. So what do you think about this one, buddy?
Yeah, it's a fun fight. They both got great records.
Yep.
And this is the type of fight where Dan Ige could get him into the rankings.
Yes.
He's not going up against like the number 6 in the division. He's kind of making his way. He's got a bunch of wins against some unranked opponents. Now he's going up against the number 14, so it'll be a little step up for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got so many different skills. Like he wins fights, submission, knockout, and he's got the stamina to go a full fight too. So yeah, I'm excited. I think he'll have a pretty good year this year. I think he's one of the guys you want to look out for.
Yeah, 100%. He hasn't been in the octagon since last June, so it's going to be good to have him back. Like I said, just two electric guys. I think either one of these guys can end the fight, wherever. Like I said, both good stand-up, both good on the ground. So these are two kind of up-and-comers you want to watch out for. Both have phenomenal records. So I'm expecting fireworks from this one. I think this could be one of the fight of the night. So keep an eye out for those two because this one's going to be fun. Don't blink for this one. And then cool, let's just jump right to the co-main event. Let's get to the fun stuff right now. We got the co-main event. We got the first title of the night. We have the women's flyweight championship between Valentina Shevchenko taking on Caitlin Chikagian. Listen, we all know Valentina. She's looked unstoppable in however many fights. You take a look at Valentina's record, right? You take out the 2 Amanda Nunes losses, Kev, she's on an 11-fight win streak, honestly. And you got to think she probably took one of those Nunes fights. In all reality, she definitely took one of the 2. So you're looking at that. Without those, she's on an 11-fight win streak, which is incredible. She's looked unbeatable other than the Nunes fights, obviously. And then you got Caitlin kind of coming here, right? You look at her record, phenomenal record. She's got 2 losses, right? She lost to Jessica Eye. She lost to Liz Carmouche. So you take a look at that. You look at the people that she's beaten. Is it the most impressive list in the world? No. Did she get this fight because she's the next one up? 100%. But I've seen her fight. She's very durable. She's very good. From what I've seen before, I know her last fight, UFC 244, impressive performance over Jennifer Maia. She's good. She's just durable. Listen, is she the most exciting fighter in the world? Does she have that, that KO power? You look at her record. She's got how many straight decisions? Does she have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight decisions? Are we expecting her to get a knockout over Valentina? No, but that's what makes title fights so exciting is that, a lot of people root for the underdog, but I feel like Valentina is so liked and she's so dominant that people don't want to see her lose. She's that kind of champion, and she's friggin' scary, man. You take a look at her record, her past, 4 fights, submission, decision, KO decision. We all know what she did to Jessica Eye. She friggin' head kicked her into oblivion. This one's going to be a fun one, though. Every time Valentina steps in the octagon, there's going to be fireworks. So what do you think about this one? And yeah, do you see Valentina's title reign ending Saturday night?
No, I mean, it's definitely the two best in the division right now. But there are some fighters that are so far ahead of the rest of the pack, like a John Jones, Amanda Nunes, and Valentina is the same way. She's so far ahead. I can't picture her losing this fight. It's gonna take. I don't know. I don't see her losing the belt anytime soon. I look through that whole division and I really don't see a threat for her at all.
Yeah.
But sometimes they underestimate their opponents when they get the title and they defend it a few times and think it becomes easy, and you never know. So that's the great thing about MMA. Is you never know that anything could happen. Anything could happen. So, Caitlin's got a good chance at winning the fight, but I see Valentina taking this one.
Yeah, I do like, if you watch all like the countdown and all that stuff this week, Caitlin's confident, man. When you're fighting an absolute animal like a Valentina and you see the stuff that she's done to other women, like just head kick them to oblivion. No one does that. Holly Holm used to do that. It's scary, man. Who wants to go in the octagon? I don't want to go in the octagon with Valentina. Me and you together don't want to go in the octagon against Valentina. She's an absolute sicko. But you're right, man. That's why the sport is awesome. There's been upsets before, but you're right. In this situation, I don't see her losing, man. I'm taking a look at just the people in this division, and I just don't see it. Which brings to my next question, which I'm going with Valentina. I think she's going to knock her out. I think it's going to be – honestly, I think it's going to be pretty quick. I think it's going to be under 2. My next question is that – let's just say Valentina wins this. Do they make the Nunes fight again? Do they do the trilogy? Or do you think they let Valentina defend it like start getting to the record breaking? Like I think the women's one is 5 or 6. Like have her beat Rousey's record or Nunes, whoever right now, and then make the fight? Or do you think, is there even a point to making that trilogy? Like you said, I don't see anyone other than Nunes putting up a good fight against Valentina. I really don't.
Yeah, no, I would love to see it, but it's a hard case for Valentina to make because she's 0-2. You usually don't see trilogy fights when one person hasn't won, either of the 2 bouts that they had before. So it's a hard case to make, but for the 2 of them, I mean, Nunes really doesn't have too much competition. Valentina doesn't have too much competition, so it does make sense for them to fight, but it just stinks that one of the fights where I think it should have went Valentina's way didn't. It just kind of stinks it worked out that way, but it would have been awesome to see them fight again.
Yeah, I mean, just 2 dominant champions, and it does suck that we've already seen it twice. Like, I wish they only fought once, right? Like taking a look at their first fight, right? The first time they fought was UFC 196. That was back in 2016. Then, they didn't fight again until – when was that? It was actually the next year. So it's like right now it's been 3 years, but it's like, do people actually want to see that right now? Like, I feel like you got to build up Valentina as this dominant champion who's breaking records, who is in the GOAT conversation. Then you do like a GOAT to GOAT, figure out who's going to be the best women fighter of all time. Like, that's what I personally think should happen. For Valentina, I think, like I said, in the division, I don't really see anyone beating her. Yeah. But I know there's been a lot of talks of, hey, maybe the winner of Joanna versus Weili Zhang comes up, right?
Yeah.
Who knows with that? I know Valentina came out and said, because everyone's obviously hyped over, Weili Zhang. She came out, she absolutely destroyed Andrade right in the first round. Yeah. Valentina kind of came out and was like, hey, I don't even know who she is. Like, she's got to win. She's got to make a name for herself. I agree with her, man, but I think that fight is the most exciting in my eyes. I don't think that's the biggest challenge for Valentina, but I think that hosts a more difficult challenge for her rather than what she's dealing with now. She's undefeated at flyweight. She's looked untouchable. Did she have a decision in her last fight was the most exciting thing? No, but she still dominated. You know what I mean? it's just like the Nunes fight. Was the Nunes fight the most exciting thing? No, but Nunes dominated from first round to fifth round. That's just, these two are on a different level, like you said, man. So this is exciting. I think, you know, Valentina really has a chance here with a dominant win to just put herself higher in this conversation where it's like, you know, Nunes and her, like they're right next to each other right now. You know, Nunes obviously has the hit list. Valentina's definitely got to get a couple more names on there, but you know, Valentina's literally not just the most talented women fighter out there, but on the whole roster, pound for pound, she's got to be up there, man. She fucking kills people. So she's an absolute sicko. Excited for that fight. I think that's going to be a good one. So that is for the women's flyweight title. That's the first of the night. And then for the main event, we have the light heavyweight championship of the world. In that, we got Johnny Bones Jones, we'll call him undefeated because he's never been beaten, unblemished. John Bones Jones taking on the also undefeated Dominic Reyes. This one's exciting. This one, honestly, I haven't been excited for a John Jones fight in a while, man. And the reason why I look at Dom Reyes, big, 6'4", he's ripped, he's got power, dude. You look at his record right now, he's got a lot of KOs, man. He ain't going to the scorecards. He's knocking people out, and he's knocking out some good guys. He's knocking out Cannonier, OSP. Went to decision with OSP. Weidman. I know Weidman doesn't have a chin anymore, but like he's not taking out. Like I know Jones says he's fighting cans and all this stuff, but I mean, I think Reyes, he has the power. Jones definitely struggles with the taller guys, right? We start with the Gustafsson one fight, but like you said, man, Jones is on a different level. You know, we saw him possibly lose in the Santos fight. You know what I mean? If Santos didn't hurt his leg, I think that's the biggest thing. But what do you think about this one? I know this is interesting, but I'm honestly, this is the most excited I've been for a John Jones fight since the DC fight, like a couple of years ago, man. So what do you think about this one?
Yeah, like you said, with the Gustafsson one fight, I think that's the closest comparison you could make to this fight. You know, you got Reyes, who I believe he's a southpaw, right?
Yes.
Southpaw. He's got good boxing.
Very good. Very good wrestling.
Yeah, good wrestling. Good power in his hands, and that was, you know, after that first fight that Jones had with Gustafsson, that's what they thought was going to be his weakness, was someone tall fighter with good boxing.
Yeah.
And he kind of disproved that in the second fight with him, but people are still kind of hanging on to that. But you know, I mean, he's got a chance. Reyes does, and I don't know. It's just hard to go against Jones because he always figures out a way to win. I don't know. He's just like incredible with the way he controls the pace of the fight and keeps good distance, and I don't know. He's just good everywhere. So
yeah,
it's hard to go against him, but I don't know. It's fighting. You know, anything could happen. So
yeah. I was. I know. I don't know if you watched the Ariel Helwani show today, but they did a sit down with Jones, and you just kind of like talk about everything, and like the dude is just at this point, like he even said it in the interview. He goes, "I'm gonna reign on this division for another 10 years," and like I thought about that for a minute, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, he's 32 years old. He honestly could do that.
Yeah,
is that crazy to think? Like, look, the Santos fight, I know he took a lot of heat for that, and he came out today and he was like, it's unfair that you guys like put that much heat on me because I didn't finish Santos. It's like, you get in there with friggin' Santos and see if you could knock him out or whatever. Jones was like, I had the right game plan and whatever. Listen, am I the biggest John Jones fan in the world? Absolutely not. But do I respect everything that he's done inside the octagon? Dude, hell yeah. The guy's an absolute beast. He's one of the GOATs. I think that poses the question next. Say he gets through Dom Reyes, right? Because obviously if Reyes wins, I'm assuming that they're just going to run it back. You know what I mean? So I don't think there's anything to debate there. But do you think John wins this one, right? Do you think – I think John hasn't had those mega fights yet. Do you think what makes sense for him is to go up to heavyweight and fight a Stipe or fight a DC? Or do you think he stays at light heavyweight, Izzy comes up? What do you think makes most sense for him? I was thinking about that today, and I was like, that one's tough. I don't know whether he goes up or he waits for Izzy in light heavyweight. Izzy comes up.
I think maybe for John Jones, like winning wise chances, I think he'd probably have a better chance with Izzy if he came up. You know, he's going to have the size advantage. He's going to have the power advantage.
Yep.
But, you know, I don't know. I would like to see both scenarios play out, you know, because it'd probably be better if he stays, fights Izzy, and then moves up.
Yeah.
As opposed to moving up and then he has to come back down. And I think it makes it a little bit more messy. But I don't know. Maybe the Izzy fight would make more sense for him next.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's interesting because, you know, when you take a look at Izzy, it's like, you know, you got those Anderson Silva, John Jones comparisons with Izzy. He's got the same movement, same, you know, Izzy's got like the same body as him, you know, the kind of a lanky but muscular guy. That, you know, that like, I feel like that karate style, you know what I mean? So that's interesting. The shit talking has been unreal. I think Izzy's getting under John's skin a little bit. Just because I think it's funny because they're like both the same age, and Izzy's talking about like, here's the new age of fighting, you're the old age. They're literally the same age. It's freaking hilarious. But and then I look at heavyweight, and I'm like curious. It's like, does John do well at heavyweight? Because it's like I feel like he's got so much weight to give. I feel like he can bulk up and be an absolute tank in heavy. And I look at a guy, I'm like a Stipe, right? Stipe's 6'4". And he's bigger than John Jones. It's like, that's a tough fight for him. The DC fight's different because DC's friggin' 5'10".
Yeah.
At heavyweight, DC puts on a ton of weight. Do I think DC can beat John Jones at heavyweight? I used to think that. If I was to say it today, I don't think he could. Do I think Stipe can beat John Jones at heavyweight? I do. I really freaking believe that. I think Stipe I think he's too big for a guy like John Jones. But like you said, John Jones has been friggin' untouchable. He's done everything right in the octagon. Obviously, outside the octagon, he's fucked up so many times. But really, he's got endless possibilities too. He's cleared out a whole division. He's got a new age of fighters coming up in the division, like a Reyes, like a Corey Anderson, like you know, we're talking about Johnny Walker for a little bit. Obviously, that kind of got derailed, but he's got those guys to look forward to next. But do any of those, you know, I don't know, put money in Dana's pocket? I don't think so. Do any of those get John Jones excited? I don't think so. He even said it today. He goes, Dom Reyes was just the next guy up. He had an impressive performance. I want to test myself with someone who, you know, is an athlete per se. So it's going to be interesting. Honestly, my prediction for this one, I just see another 5-round decision going to Jones. I don't see it being that exciting. I think it's just going to be him dominating Reyes the entire time. I think it's going to be very similar to the Anthony Smith fight. I don't know. I think it's we haven't seen Reyes, you know, go 5 rounds, so that's going to be something you got to look for. I mean, the Weidman fight was quick. We were there for the Weidman fight, but you know, Reyes thinks that, you know, Jones hasn't been in there with someone as skilled as him, but Reyes definitely hasn't been in there with anyone as skilled as Jones. So, but who knows? Like you said, anything can happen. So, what's your final prediction on the main event?
Yeah, I'm kind of picturing the same thing. I think Jones is really going to slow him down. You know, Reyes is going to try to put some things together, and it's just going to be, you know, a 5-round fight where I think he's just going to kind of outpoint him. But I don't think it's going to be like a dominant, like just complete ass kicking. It's just going to be, I think he's going to do just enough to win each round and be a little boring. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like that's kind of how his past few fights have kind of been. He's kind of slowed down a bit, but when he first started, he was super exciting, really explosive, and
Finishing everyone.
Yeah, finishing people, and I would love to see him go back to that. But
yeah, I feel like I read an article the other day, and it was like John Jones is the equivalent of Mayweather. His beginning of his career, he was exciting, he was flashy, he did everything right. In the octagon, he was finishing everyone. Different ways too. He was submitting people, he was knocking people out, he was ground and pounding, whatever. And now, I don't know. In the article, it was talking about how he's doing the Mayweather. He's taking kind of the safe way. He's trying to be more defensive. He's trying to just win on points, right? He's just trying to build his legacy. He doesn't want to take those risks anymore, right? Obviously, the Gustafsson fight, he finished that, but whatever. I agree. I think he's at that point where if he just keeps winning and people are like, yeah, he's boring, he's just stacking up title defenses. Dude, this is his 15th title fight in a row. That's incredible. That's incredible. He's on his path to beat Demetrius Johnson for the most title defenses ever. Like, that's his goal, right? He's 32 years old. He's dominating everyone. Is it pretty most of the time? No, but he's doing it and he's winning every round sometimes. The Santos fight was close, one of his closest fights in years. So it's like, I look at him and I think he's just playing smart. I think he's making his money. He's trying to stay out of trouble outside of the octagon. I know the whole picogram thing is stupid, but I mean, the guy's going to go down as one of the greatest. I don't see him losing anytime soon unless he does go up to heavyweight, which I think he's going to be pretty cautious about because he wants to keep that record going and stuff like that. He wants to go down as the greatest. But, yeah, I mean, listen, would I love to see Dom Reyes knock him out and be the new? Yeah, but I also think that Reyes has to fucking face him again in a rematch. So I don't know. And I think he's going to lose the rematch because I think, I'm not going to say it could be a fluke, but I just think, I don't know. It's just, it's interesting. Light heavyweight, I'm glad it kind of cleared out a little bit. I think after this Reyes one, I don't know. It could be next up Corey Anderson. It could be next up, I don't know, whoever. But it's just nothing too exciting after the Reyes fight. I like Reyes because he's finishing people. He's big. He's strong. Ex-football player. Like, he's an athlete, this kid. So curious to see if he can keep up with Jones's pace. I think Jones might tour with him a little bit. But we'll see. He's, after the fight in Boston against Weidman, he made a party favors, joke to Jones. And I think that pissed him off. And Jones, I think he's gotten under his skin a little bit because the press conference was a little like Jones coming at him. You usually don't see Jones do that unless he's fighting DC or someone like that. So, but yeah, I guess we're kind of same on that. Like a 5-round just decision. I think it'd be a little exciting in the beginning, but I think you're going to see Jones kind of just coast, 3rd, 4th, 5th round. He's going to have it in the bag. But yeah, so that's UFC 247. I'm glad UFC's back. We don't have a weekend off without UFC. I think up until the 2 weeks before the Khabib-Tony fight. So a ton more content from us. Did you end up seeing Colby on the Hawani show today, all the stuff that he was saying?
No. I read something with him with 50 Cent, but I didn't see any of it, no.
Yeah. So he made his first appearance back, and he's talking all this shit, saying, he was cheated by Mark Goddard, the referee, and Usman faked the punch and the kick in the nuts and the eye poke. He grabbed the other eye, all that stuff. So he didn't change at all. He's saying that he won the fight. He got robbed, and he's going to fight 50 Cent in a boxing match with his hands tied behind his back for $1 million. I don't know. But, I mean, Kamaru and Jorge is basically all but finalized. I think Jorge just needs to sign, or whoever needs to sign. So Colby's like, I'm going to sit out until I get my title shot. So good riddance. I don't really care. But, yeah. So that's all I had. Anything else you had, buddy?
No, that's it.
All right, cool. All right, guys, UFC 247. Going to be a good one this week. Click that subscribe button. We need more subscribers, guys. Let's fucking go. Instagram's blowing up. Twitter's blowing up. Facebook's doing good. More content in 2020. We have a ton of fire fights coming up in the next couple months, guys, all leading up to Khabib-Tony. I can't wait for that one. I'm shaking. I'm praying to God every night that one happens. All these other fights that are getting canceled and all this other crap, I know that these are just sacrifices for Tony Khabib. So I'm fine with that. As long as Tony Khabib happens, I can die happy. That's all I care about. So until then, guys, Flatline MMA. Peace.